Hello, and welcome to Menalac's brand new podcast, Member Musing, a platform that will bring audiences closer to insightful conversation of the state of the MENA leisure and entertainment industry, as well as innovative services, products, and achievement of Menalac members. Today, I'm honoured to be speaking with Mike Rigby, Executive Vice President of Middle East and India, Whitewater, and Chairperson of Menalac Events Committee. Welcome, Mike. Thank you so much for joining me on Menalac's very first podcast episode.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here.
Now, if you follow Menalac's social media handles, you'll be aware of the excitement surrounding the upcoming 5th annual award show scheduled on the 15th of March. Mike, as the starting point for today's conversation, could you tell us more about the purpose of the award show and how it's evolved since its debut edition in 2018?
So within the Middle East, I think we're in a super luxurious position of enjoying a whole host of venues that are world-class and on a par with anything you will see from a leisure perspective. Be that the theme parks, be that the water parks, the family entertainment centres, the cinemas, the mixed-use developments that combine F&B with leisure and entertainment, and even sort of new areas of leisure, such as the malls, which when I look at Dubai Mall, where else in the world has an aquarium in a mall? Where else has a ski slope like Mall of the Emirates does? So I think the whole intent of the Menalac Leisure and Entertainment Awards was to recognise the efforts of the local operators and also the international suppliers that are looking to ensure that this market is at the forefront of the global industry. So initially, this was an idea to recognise our members and also the operators and suppliers who are working in this region. And since the inauguration in 2018, it's just gone from strength to strength. So year one, we had around 20 categories, and I would sort of say we had probably 100 different nominations, and that every year on year, has increased. And over time, that's led to us having to increase the amount of categories to ensure that we are encapsulating such a broad variety of offerings. But also the amount of nominations, the amount of interest we now receive for these awards is it's very impressive. And I think it gives the opportunity for all our operator and supplier members to showcase all the hard work they're doing, both in this region and globally. So I like to think it's adding value to the industry as a whole.
Indeed. So you've just mentioned there, sort of over the past 5 years, how there have been more categories added each year. This year, as far as we know, there are 29 award categories and 2 new ones have been added for 2023. So could you tell us a bit about these new categories and the reasoning for adding those?
Of course. So it has certainly been evolving, the categories. Every year, we sort of see all these new exciting developments. And sometimes once we reflect on the awards, we're feeling that things are being missed out and certain incredible venues and developments have not had the opportunity to fit within a certain category. So it certainly is work in progress as we look to evolve to make sure that we are covering the market as it evolves itself. So our base offering does cover, best theme park, best water park, best FEC, new products. There are individual awards for individual personalities, be that from the Hall of Fame to key members of the region that have contributed hugely to the success, both from a safety and operations and a leadership perspective. In terms of the new awards, you are correct. We have added 2 this year. And one of those is to look at the best integrated leisure destination. So the intent of that is, as the market is changing, we've seen communities investing more in leisure. We've seen more and more projects in resorts. I know from a Whitewater perspective, in the last sort of 24 months, we've inaugurated great projects at Jungle Bay, Western Minaseaki. Just this month, we've opened a new small water park at JA Resort. And previously, these would not be considered in any category. So as I say, so as the malls, as the shopping centres, as communities, as these resorts increase their offering, we want to recognise that. So that was the rationale behind the first award, especially when, you know, these concepts can be combined with leisure and entertainment. So Atlantis Wave House is another example of that, where it's a restaurant, but it also has this leisure component. Brass Monkeys on Blue Waters. So we like to think that this category will target all these new types of developments. And then secondly, the second new award, it's a new award, but it's also sort of a rectification of past mistakes. We used to have best new product for family entertainment centres. However, I think we decided that was very broad because that covered such a vast array of options, from ticketing solutions, from redemption games to arcade to VR, to actually, as these family entertainment centres grow in size and strength, they're putting in big rides. You're seeing roller coasters inside these days, big drop towers. So I think we've now split that existing best new product for FEC into two categories. So one of those will be best new product for arcade, VR, redemption, and novelty. And the second award will be best new product, rides and attractions for FECs. So if someone's putting a roller coaster, a big mechanical hard ride into a family entertainment centre, they can be recognised. And we go back to the rationale for that. The FEC market is huge in the Middle East. The likes of Al Hokair, Al Otaim in Saudi Arabia, they've been leading the way for such a long time. Here in the UAE, you have Majid Al Futtaim with their Magic Planets, Landmark Leisure, EMA, who also have such a great offering. So with these split and these new two categories, we like to think that we can appeal to an even broader range of our members.
Absolutely, and I think that's really important. As the world and the industry grows, so does the awards. You've actually, Mike, been Menalac's event committee chairperson since 2021. So you've seen the industry and Menalac go through a few roller coaster years, no pun intended. I'm sure there's a lot of work that goes into the 4 main events that Menalac hosts each year. Could you tell me about these 4 events? They're actually all around the same time in March, aren't they? That must be quite a challenge for you.
I think the events is always a huge stress, shall we say. You know, Menalac, it still is a non-for-profit. All the board members are doing this on a volunteer basis. So we all have day jobs. Luckily, we do have support of the Menalac full-time staff who are there to coordinate and support us. But a lot does go into these events. Aside from the 4 that I'll get onto a minute, we are doing more and more. So last year, for example, we did a focus on Abu Dhabi, where we got 100+ members together with a mix of a conference and site tours across some of Abu Dhabi's most fantastic destinations. Now moving on to the 4 events you were speaking of, you're right. Between the 12th and the 15th of March next year, there is going to be no rest. Though I'm actually being a little bit cheeky because I have to sneak off my brother's wedding that week, so I'm actually not going to be there myself. So someone else will have to take on a lot of the responsibility. But yeah, so this again, it's another example of how Menalac and what we're trying to offer to our members has evolved. So on Sunday, the 12th of March, we're going to have a water park conference. This was started last year. So in the past, a few members in the water park industry had been doing informal training, informal sessions. And Menalac sort of said, well, how can we work with these members to take this to the next level? So last year at Legoland, we did the first edition of this. This year, it will be repeated on Sunday, the 12th of March at Atlantis, where again, we'll look to bring around 100 of the leading experts in the water park industry together to combine a mix of topics from development, operations, human resources input, marketing, and how that part of the industry itself is growing. We are so fortunate in the Middle East that we have several of the world's leading water parks. There are some hugely exciting developments to come across the region. I think Qatar right now has Merial, which is a breaks many world records. It's well publicized. Many of the projects in Saudi Arabia that are about to be kicked off. So this is the perfect opportunity. So that will be on Sunday, 12th of March at Atlantis, where there is a water park focused conference. Then moving on to Monday, the 13th of March, we will have our CEO conclave. So the intent of this is really to bring leaders from across the entire region together to share their experiences, to let people hear different perspectives, to understand what is going on across the region. I think in the Middle East, we're so unique that every single country is different. So the similarities, but they're never the same. So we want to bring together people from across the region to share their experiences, to give insights into the trends that they're seeing. And this is a high-level event that we hope to have many of the leading personalities from the leisure and entertainment industry both participating as speakers and as delegates. And it's always been super well received. And again, that will be at Atlantis, the Palm. Following this, one topic that cannot be underrated is safety. So on Tuesday the 14th, we will look to move towards a safety conference. Menalac has always had a very strong health and safety committee, so they will be leading this. And again, it's on education, learning, sharing experiences, and ensuring that every single facility and operation within this region is leading the way from a global safety perspective. Finally, we come into the big one, which we've already touched upon, which is the highlight of the year for many of our members, which is the Gala and Awards. So at Address Skyview Hotel, we will hopefully bring 350 to 400 of the leading individuals together for a night of celebration. This is when we all get to showcase our hard work. We all get to relax and let our feet relax a little bit and enjoy all the hard work from the previous year. So, as we touched upon earlier, that will be the revealing of the winners of our 29 award categories, but also it will be a gala dinner with celebration, with entertainment, and it really is. That's a celebration for the hard work over the previous year.
Absolutely, and it sounds like there's a lot of fun going on, a lot of things to learn, a great place to network as well. But from your perspective, what's the best thing about organising and holding these events? And although you're not going to perhaps be there, what are you looking forward to about maybe the awards in particular?
I'll definitely split this into two categories, Mike and Menalac. From Mike, the best thing about holding these events is when they're finished, is when you look back and go, nothing went too badly wrong. Everyone had a good time. Fingers crossed, the feedback is positive. And that's definitely the best bit, when the members come back saying, we think that worked well. We're really happy you do that. They feel that there was value. And those values definitely are shared across Menalac. So Menalac, after the fact, they definitely want that positive feedback. The entire reason we're organising the events, we're all putting so much work into this, is so that it's bringing value to our members. But then it's also a celebration. We work in the best industry there is. I genuinely think that. When I speak to my friends and I hear about their days, I hear what their routines entail, I don't think it compares to what we all do. And I think it's so nice that Menalac is able to bring so many people together that it is a very serious business, huge amounts, billions of dollars moved by this, but it's also fun. So to be able to recognize and even reflect on, yeah, we get stressed out, we take it seriously, but look what we've created. Look how many tens, hundreds of millions of people every year actually enjoy everything, all our hard work, the smiles on their faces. So I definitely think that's a huge success for Menalac, to be able to see our members reflect on their contribution to making people smile. And then what we're looking forward to in terms of this event, the offering in the Middle East year on year just continues to get better. The investment increases. On one hand, you can say the competition increases, but on the other hand, you can say all of these venues complement each other. So the pie as a whole now, it's incredible. I think when I started in the Middle East, there were fantastic individual destinations. Now there's such a vast array. Anything you can think of is here. And it continues to evolve. And I think that's such a nice part about the awards is, of course, you see some of the past winners re-entering awards, but every year there's new categories. There are new companies that are entering, and there's new offerings in the market. So I think it's a great opportunity to be able to see what is new, to be able to see the people who've taken these chances and have risked their own investments and their own reputations by trying something new being recognized. So that's what I look forward to. I look forward to seeing what is new, how the boundaries have continued to be pushed, and it just gets me excited for the following year to see what will continue to come.
Wonderful. And it's so lovely to hear your passion working in the industry and everyone else within it as well. Finally, Mike, before we go, perhaps you've already touched a little bit upon this. I'd like to know, what will the world of entertainment see in 2023? Any spoilers?
The leisure and entertainment industry, it's had a couple of tough years. COVID was we were one of the industries hit the hardest, where we want to bring people together. We want crowds. We want groups. So all of a sudden, when you have a global pandemic that is saying, well, actually, we need to reduce numbers, we need to stay inside, we need to socially distance, that's not great for what we do. However, I think anyone currently in the Middle East will see that the place is booming right now. On a daily basis, we're seeing announcements from the various governments, Vision 2030 in Saudi Arabia, Vision 2040 in Dubai, that is striving to increase tourism, and leisure is at the forefront of that. So I really think our operators will hopefully see, continued success post-COVID. I think people have come back stronger. People recognize, they see everything they have on their doorsteps. They want to experience it. So I think all the existing offerings will continue to succeed. And then it is about all that's new. I touched upon before the new water park in Qatar at Merial, which will break numerous world records. Just last week, Ferrari World announced their new roller coaster that's opened, Mission Ferrari, I believe. And from what I understand is that more and more is coming. Even Atlantis, they've got this balloon experience that's just launched. So I think so much is just in the pipeline. So much is going to come. And I think we're all going to be blown away by all these new offerings that are available to us. And then we just look at the region as a whole, it's a focus. Saudi Arabia, entertainment, what's being placed, the value that's being placed on that sector is huge. We're going to see those projects progress. Hopefully, we're going to see some of those be announced. They might not be ready yet, but I think we'll start to learn more about them and we will be blown away. I think UAE will continue to keep up. I think Oman, Kuwait, Bahrain, they all have new projects. Egypt, North Africa, everywhere has got stuff going on. So I think that's what's going to surprise people is it's not just one particular country in the region, it's going to be across the region. We're going to see so much development, and I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. That all sounds very exciting, and lots of fantastic surprises to get us all, out with our friends, with our family, and having fun.
That's the intent. Yeah, let's get on and smile.
Thank you so much for joining me, Mike, on Menalac's podcast series. It's been so interesting hearing about the Menalac Awards from you, and it's certainly making me eager to see its success on the 15th of March.
Inshallah. Fingers crossed.
To our
Thanks
audience,
so much.
thank you, Mike. To our audience, I encourage you to head straight to the website, which is www.menalac.org, to learn more about the awards, particularly how to nominate yourself, how to become a sponsor, and of course, how to grab that all-important ticket to the event. You can also find this information via links on Menalac's social media pages, which are in the description section below this video. Thank you to our audience for joining us, and stay tuned for the next episode of Member Musing. See you soon.